So I put this on my community tab. Give me a hard question to answer, one that is answerable but tough. Not the date on which the war will end, please. I can't actually do that. So this was a really good question. From the get-go, America has stated that we will not put boots on the ground in Ukraine. If push comes to shove, will that change? If required, which countries, other than France, might send troops to Ukraine? What would their roles be? Okay, so there's multiple layers in this question. So one, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. I think it's improbable unless something very significant changes, like belligerence between China and, China joins in with Russia as they attack Taiwan and say that they're together, something along those lines. That could be a scenario. But remember, like Woodrow Wilson, he got elected on the promise that he was going to keep us out of war. Like that's right. So things can change. I don't think it will change in that regard as long as we play our cards right. Now, as far as boots on the ground, Putin seems to have this weird double standard. Russia can invade Ukraine, but no NATO countries can come into Ukraine, or that will mean a massive escalation and perhaps nuclear attack. That's a silly double standard, and that red line will be crossed, and I believe it'll be crossed pretty shortly. Lithuania has already said that they want to send technical advisors, trainers into Ukraine if Zelensky says that he wants them. Once that dam breaks, it will be very easy for other countries, France and others, to enter into Ukraine and have soldiers there. Now, what you want to avoid is a scenario where you're sliding into it, where you don't mean to escalate, like what happened sending advisors into Vietnam, and then they built and built and built and built into an all-out war. You don't want to do that. It's not outside of reason, and it's a great question. Putin will saber rattle, say this is terrible, and then maybe shoot a bunch of extra missiles or something, but that'll be the end of it. Putin has proven again and again that he cries wolf with his red lines. The threat, it's kind of like Marjorie Taylor Greene's use of the vacate order. The threat was worse than actually execution, because she's been exposed for not being able to carry through. Putin can't carry through. I've given this analogy again and again, but look, a nuclear weapon didn't help the U.S. The U.S. has plenty of nuclear weapons, but it didn't help the U.S. in Afghanistan. They couldn't use it. Same scenario here, where Russia can't use it on Ukraine. It's like a guy, if you have a hand grenade, right? You walk into a bar, you get into a fight, you have to fight. You have to have a conventional fight. You can't just say, I have a hand grenade and I'm going to pull the pin, because it'll destroy you in the process of destroying everyone else. You simply can't use it. The threat of the hand grenade is powerful, but using it, it's just not going to work. So you have to be able to conventionally fight, and that's where Putin is. Okay, hope that helps you understand what's going on. I think that boots on the ground are not just possible, but plausible. I don't think for the U.S., but I think for some European countries, it's going to probably happen eventually. I don't know when, but that's my read of it. Okay, thank you for the hard question. I appreciate that. I hope that helps. This is my speculation based on what I understand of what's going on. I cannot point to relevant data to show that that is what's going to happen at this particular time. So just take that with a grain of salt. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.